The Afrobarometer is a survey research project that's been collecting information on public attitudes towards democracy, governance, and economic reform since 1999. We started in 12 countries. We now are in our fourth round of surveys in 20 countries. The project has three key objectives. The first is to collect good quality information on public attitudes in Africa towards democracy and governance, something we haven't known a lot about up until now. A second is to build capacity among the organizations that we work with to both collect and analyze and present good quality survey data. And the third is to get this data out into the public arena to contribute to the popular debates in these countries about democracy and policy and governance. What we're seeing, first of all, is that in terms of the simplest measure we have, which is a simple expression of support for democracy, that attitudes are up. We see higher levels of support for democracy now than we have in the past. But we sort of think of that as a bit of a motherhood and apple pie statement. It's too easy to just say, yes, I support democracy. So we have a bit more sophisticated measure that brings together a couple of different indicators, which we call demand for democracy. And it looks both at support for democracy and whether people reject authoritarian alternatives. Demand for democracy is going up. We also have a measure of supply of democracy, which looks at how satisfied people are with their democracies and how much democracy they actually think they're getting from the system. Again, we see that supply of democracy is up a bit this time around. But so it's an encouraging result to see that on average both demand and supply of democracy are increasing in Africa according to public perceptions. However, that's an average result, and when we start looking country by country, we see that in fact there's a huge amount of diversity across countries. We see some countries where both demand and supply are improving. We think that these regimes are headed in a positive direction and possibly towards consolidation of democracy. On the other hand, we see a couple of countries where both demand and supply seem to be staying at very low levels. These countries may be remaining autocracies. But most of the countries we work in still fall between those two extremes. They're neither autocracies nor democracies. They're what we call hybrid regimes, and they're still in flux. We're still seeing a lot of change over time in either the demand or the supply of democracy, or both. MSU was one of three organizations that co-founded the project, along with the Center for Democratic Development in Ghana and the Institute for Democracy in South Africa. In round four, we've shifted the management a little bit over to the African partners of the organization, and MSU now serves as a support unit for the project along with the University of Cape Town.